everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So we have 4 more days now until Comic-Con, 4 more days until we get this Rick and Michonne trailer. So since we got the confirmation today that we are actually getting a teaser, or I guess teaser trailer of sorts, and that's sort of what I expected. Like I've been saying that kind of for the last week or two. Like I don't think we're gonna get like a 2-minute trailer. There's probably gonna be like a 30-second teaser, maybe up to a minute at the longest, showcasing some, obviously some characters. There's going to be some sort of tones and locations and stuff that are going to be shown. But the one thing that I did want to talk about was not just general predictions for this trailer, but I actually wanted to talk about some stuff that I think we should get, but some stuff that they can't show us yet. Like we really can't see certain things. Then I also wanted to talk about Daryl and sort of that reunion and why I do think that's really important, because we just got a teaser trailer or sort of thing, sneak peek or whatever you want to call it, for the Daryl Dixon show last night, and he mentions a line in there that definitely is a reference to Rick, and I'm like, you have to reunite these characters. Like, you have to. So before we go any further, obviously make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all my Walking Dead content like this, and if you haven't joined the Patreon yet, the first vlog is posted there. So yeah, if you're interested in seeing vlogs of sort of my journey that I'm on right now, I will be uploading every single week, every single Sunday. To those that have joined so far, thank you so much. Honestly, awesome response. The vlog that I just posted was like close to 40 minutes, so it's a really long vlog. It does get pretty personal. But yeah, if you do want to check it out on Patreon, the link is in the description of this video. But yeah, like I talked about it in my previous video, but we do have official confirmation that we are getting a Rick and Michonne teaser this Friday. So obviously the hype now is just sort of waiting for that big reveal, right? And when I first saw that, I was just very excited for that, because I already knew we were kind of getting that. As soon as we saw the key art, I was like, they're showing us something, because the key art is just a lot of effort to go through if they weren't showing us anything, if it was just going to be casting announcements or things like that. Like, stuff like that is just sort of pointless. So, putting key art together, getting all that stuff together, that's honestly a lot to give us, which told me that, yeah, we are probably going to be getting something here, for this show. And the exciting thing about this is that we're going to see what the tone of the show is going to be. We're going to see what the show looks like. We're going to see just sort of the overall, I guess, vibe and feeling of it, right? Because the first trailer, that we got for Dead City confirmed a lot of, I guess, what the experience has sort of been with the show, right? Like, I guess when we first watched the very first episode, there was still sort of a bigger cinematic feel that we never got from the trailers. So there's probably going to be that aspect to it as well when we watch the first episode of the Rick show. But the Daryl Dixon show, the tone of that feels a little bit different from Dead City. I'm sure when we watch the first episode, there's going to be more of a cinematic feel to it, right? So I expect the same thing for Rick and Michonne. We're going to get the general feel, but there'll just be that added, high budget cinematic quality feel to it. And that's just what I'm excited for. I'm excited to see just how it feels, just tonally. And that's just what I'm excited for about it. Like, obviously the footage, all that stuff is going to be really cool, but I just want to see how the show feels, because imagine if the show just looked like World Beyond, or if the show looked like, Fear the Walking Dead for a couple of seasons there when it looked really bad. Like, it would be obviously very disappointing, right? So the overall feel, the vibe of the show, the tone of it, is very, very important. So that's why I'm looking out for that. The one thing I think this teaser trailer needs to show us, or I guess confirm, is that Jadis is back, because there's a lot of talk about Rick and Michonne. And the thing is, with this show, we don't really talk about the cast that much. Like, we just kind of talk about those two characters, but I want confirmation that Jadis is back. I want to see a scene with her where we have that confirmation that she is now back here. I think that's just really important. Even just like official confirmation on casting and stuff like that. I just want it out there so that we can talk about it, and it just makes more sense. Obviously, everybody knows that she's coming back, but just to have that confirmation, I think would be absolutely awesome, because we know she's coming back. And it'll be interesting to see how many episodes she'll be in out of the 6, right? A character like her, I could totally see her being in all 6 episodes, because she is kind of a bigger character, right? Like, out of all the characters, yes, Major General Beale is also a very big character as well. But besides Rick and Michonne and Major General Beale, I feel like Jadis is going to be really up there, because, first of all, her positioning, her rank within the CRM, that's something that I really feel like, yeah, I hope we do get confirmation about. Just literally confirm, just show some footage of Jadis. Honestly, all the footage that got leaked online, or not leaked, but I guess that has been posted online from filming and all that, just release stuff of that, just officially of what it looks like, because it's still going to be exciting and cool, but it's stuff that people have already kind of seen before. So again, people will be excited about it, but now you still have more stuff to show off, right? Like you still have more things to tease, and now people really don't know what to expect at that point, right? I also would really like to see Major General Beale. Now, this is the one character where I'm like, I don't know if we're going to see him, it's one of those things where he's a big character. He's been mentioned a lot. He's been teased a lot on World Beyond. And I don't know if you want to reveal him in something like this. And it's kind of hard to say because, again, if this was 10 episodes, I could totally see them maybe not revealing him at all. And even in the trailer, don't even really reveal him that much. But it's hard to say because it's only 6 episodes. Maybe you do sort of tease something there, right? Like, I could see that. Like, I do want to see how, like menacing he is, how threatening he is as a villain. I really want that established here in all the promotion building up to the show, because I don't really know a lot about him. I mean, we don't know a lot about him. We don't really know anything about just like where he stays and what his goals are and like why is he Major General, like how did he get to this position and what's his relationship like with Rick, specifically with Rick? Because if you remember in the final episode of The Walking Dead, there was a line there where whoever was in the helicopter, the pilot mentions to Rick, like he says something, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he says something like, you know what he told you, there's nowhere to hide for the living, or I don't even remember the line at all, but there was a mention basically to this person that told Rick something, and obviously that was Major General Beale, right? But again, that was just like, that was a line there where it was like, okay, whoever this is definitely very, very scary, right? And so I want that felt throughout all the promotion building up to the release of this show. I really do. One thing also that I was thinking about, and I hope that they don't reveal this, because the key art kind of shows both characters together. And obviously it's assumed that Rick and Michonne are going to get together. And we know that they're going to get together. Like we know they'll reunite at some point, I'm sure pretty early on within those 6 episodes, because you want to have those characters together for a while. But I feel like building up to the show, you don't want to have them together that much, right? Because that sort of ruins the reveal to them finding each other. Like you want to build this up. You want to build this up to make it exciting so that when they do see each other, it's like this really big moment, because there's a lot of information that Rick needs to learn. Like there's so much stuff that has happened in Alexandria that he needs to know about. I mean, I guess Michonne doesn't know about the Commonwealth, but Rick doesn't even know about RJ. Like I don't even think Rick knew that Michonne was pregnant because it was something that Michonne seemed to have been keeping secret at the time. So like that surprise there for Rick to be like, I have a son, there's a lot of things like that I'm like, you can't reveal. I don't think they're going to reveal that, first of all, any trailers or promotional footage or anything like that. But there's just big moments like that I'm like, you know what? You need to keep Rick and Michonne, I feel like, separated, at least for a bit, at least throughout the promotional period here, where you're promoting the show quite a bit, because it does just build the reveal and people want to see that. People are just like, they're anticipating that and are at the edge of their seats, waiting for something like this to happen. And so if you just show it off immediately where you see both characters together, it's, again, it depends on how you do it. It really depends on how you do it. Because if it's like an end of season sort of thing where there's a shot that happens, say in episode 5, and say they reunite in episode 3 or something, then it's like, yeah, I guess I can kind of see how maybe you would show off something like that for later episodes, because it's unrelated and you're not really hinting at how they actually find each other. Because I just don't want any hints as to how they find each other. That's my biggest concern here, is I don't want to go into the season being like, they're probably going to find each other, like not necessarily in the episode, because I feel like I already kind of know that, but I just don't want to know how. You know what I mean? I don't want to know that. So they really got to figure out a way to handle this, because there's certain reveals like that, like especially when it comes to Rick and Michonne reuniting, that you don't want to see. And that's also another thing too. Are we going to get certain like specific storylines? Like, is the trailer still going to follow what we generally know right now in terms of, like Rick is just trapped right now, or Michonne is like looking for him, right? Like, is a lot of the promotional, material going to be focused on like he's still lost and Michonne is like wondering, like, I'll find you and where are you, and finding clues and stuff like that? Is that what it's going to be focusing on? Or are we going to get a very specific storyline where we see something like Rick is like looking at something and he's like, I need to find Jadis because of this and that. Or Michonne discovers a CRM and then finds a soldier and is like, you know what I mean? Where we learn like more specific storylines within the trailers and all that. I'm kind of mixed on it. If they want to show us that, it's like, cool, because I guess we get to see that, but it's also, You know, do you save that for watching the show? It is kind of hard, like with promoting this one show, it's very hard. But when you look at Daryl Dixon, like look at that. I mean, the show's coming out in a month and a half, or a little over a month and a half, and we don't even know what the story is for this show, right? Like we don't even know what the show's going to be about. We're going to find out with the trailer, obviously, this Friday, but like we don't know anything. So do they save it basically until the trailer comes out? Probably, right? And I also wanted to talk about one thing too in terms of a reunion, because I mentioned the whole reunion with Negan because I was asked that in a Q&A the other day. I really feel like a reunion with Daryl is just an absolute must, just because of the line that we got in the teaser the other day where Daryl says something like, if I don't make it back, I just want him to know that I tried. And I'm kind of paraphrasing there a little bit. That might be word for word, but I'm not sure. But that was a reference to Rick, right? Like Daryl wanting Rick to know that he tried to find him, because at this point Daryl's like, people are going to be thinking I'm missing now, just like Rick, because I'm over here and there's no way for me to get back at all. And that is something that, again, I just really feel like is necessary for this story to end. And that the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because, again, like sometimes I'm just kind of sitting around and I'll be looking on Twitter or something and then I'll see some things and I'm like, just thinking of certain things, and I'm like, you know, I really just want to like talk into a mic and like say some of these thoughts here. But like, I feel like this really has to confirm that there needs to be more than one season for the Rick and Michonne show, because based off of how big the story is here for Rick and Michonne and the CRM and all that, how do you wrap that up in 6 episodes? Because Dead City almost kind of confirms that you need more than 6 episodes to tell that story. Like, what has happened in Dead City so far? We've watched 5 episodes. First episode, they get there. Second episode, they meet a new group. Third episode, they sort of spend some time with that group a little bit. Fourth episode, you know, they go and attack the Croat. Fifth episode sort of still deals with the aftermath of all of that, but then we learn of a new villain. And the finale is likely just going to be this final battle kind of thing, but not necessarily a final battle, just this final confrontation where we learn sort of what's going to happen between Maggie and Negan and some of the stuff that we know that Maggie's obviously planning here. Like, there's not a lot that has happened technically, and it's a perfect little story. The problem is Rick and Michonne isn't a perfect little story. Yes, if you focus on Rick and Michonne, specifically on those 2 characters, then yes, maybe you can get it done. Like, then I agree. 6 episodes to tell their story of them reuniting and then saying goodbye to them as just characters. You could probably do that in 6 episodes, but you're ignoring the CRM and what has been built up with that. You're ignoring the reunions with every other character. That's what I mean. Like, that's why I think we should get more than 1 season. Like, Dead City to me kind of confirms it more than anything. So yeah, but obviously we're getting a trailer this Friday. I mean, it's been almost a year now since they first announced this show, and now we're about to see some footage, the first footage. I mean, first of all, that year flew right by. I can't even believe it. But yeah, I can't wait. I'm so excited for the trailer here. So definitely post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.